can get anything you want at Jedediah's restaurant. Just walk right in and round the back, just half a mile from the railroad track. You can get anything you want. So one day, I was driving to work, but it was like 4 a.m. in the morning because I love to get up early to exercise. So anyway, the roads were pretty slick that day, and so when the roads were pretty slick, I was on the highway going at a pretty reasonable speed. Actually, I'm a pretty slow driver, but that's besides the point. I was going down the highway and it was pretty icy that day, and my car started to slip off the road and I was losing control of the vehicle. So I slid off the road, and I was pretty lucky because I only ended up into getting hit in the guardrail. Now, this might be like the worst event you've ever heard on your day-to-day life, but trust me, it gets worse. So I made the first mistake of the day, besides going out in the slippery roads, and I got out of my car on a busy highway, off to the side of a busy highway. And so I went to assess the damage. But little did I know that another car at that moment was careening off the highway and towards me. So I made a leap in motion back towards my car, but friends, I did not make it. And they struck me in the back. And they went sliding for another 100 yards off the road. And friends, it was not pretty. I slammed into my car door, which had been opened since I had gotten out of my car to assess the damage on the back of my car. And I was fine, mostly, with a shoulder injury, but my shoe had been missing. So I went around to look for my shoe, and I found that. Found my phone in the snow. And I picked it up and I went to call AAA and the police. So I called the police and they came over. And then they started talking to the other guy there for 15, 30, hell, an hour. They were sitting there and talking. Who knows what they were talking about, but it had to be the best thing ever because it lasted forever. Now, friends, here's where the real kicker comes in. I went over to the police officer there, and he spoke to me and said, "How fast were you going at the scene of the crime?" I said, "I wasn't going anywhere. I was not in my car. I was walking, Mr. Officer, sir." And he just looked at me for a second, and then went back to the other guy, and then went over to me and said, "So, do you have any injuries?" And I said, "Well, my shoulder kind of hurts." And so we went out and filled out his police report. And we went on our way. AAA, well, I had to call my girlfriend to pick me up. So she picked me up, and then we left. And I got to work, even with the shoulder injury. Still go to PT to this day. But friends, this is not the end of the story, because later, I had to sue this guy because he had hit me with his car that was careening off the highway at crazy speeds, and I was a pedestrian on the side of the highway. So I went to sue this guy, and this guy said that the police report said that I was in a car while I was struck. Now, this is very contrary to what actually happened at the scene of the crime, but the law didn't see it that way, as it was very hard to contest a police report, so my lawyers suggested that I drop the case. I was not very happy with this, but there was just nothing I could do about it. Went back home, and I continued to go to work at 4 a.m. as usual. That's why I'm here to tell you the story, and I'm still wearing the same shoe that came off into the snow during that fateful crash.
Make sure to like, and subscribe to see our new content.
Yeah, thank you for watching, and don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below.
Smash that bell that does the notifications thingy.
Because you want to hear the next episode of
Storytime with
Joshua Lowe.